for a walk in the country may not be the rural idyll that you'd hoped for. The Ramblers Association says a third of footpaths in the English countryside are almost impassable because of barbed wire, dangerous stiles and other obstructions. The association's called on local councils to spend £70 million to improve the paths after what it calls years of neglect. Kevin Bocquet is near Halifax in West Yorkshire. Kevin.
Well, Anna, this footpath is one of the 70% or so, which, as you can see, is actually rather well maintained. But as you are about to see, we've also found some other footpaths which are in a much worse state. As the countryside is becoming ever more popular, ramblers, the rambling industry has become not just a pastime, it has become a multi-million-pound business. And yet, according to the Ramblers Association, many of our footpaths are in such a state of disrepair, they're virtually impassable.
I know so many of these footpaths here, of course.
Alan Gaskell has been a keen rambler for more than 50 years. This walk, a few miles north of Halifax, used to be one of his favourites, but he claims the local council has done little to maintain it.
This footpath here should run along that wall, but it's so overgrown with trees and has been for years that people are not using it as such.
The Ramblers Association says a third of all footpaths are virtually impassable.
Look at this lot.
It's when this one crosses a main road that the worst problems become apparent.
First of all, this was a field, and then a firm came along, parked vehicles and built all over it. They built over the footpath, and the line of the footpath was lost.
This is terrible. Further on, the path becomes overgrown. The Ramblers Association says many footpaths are blocked with debris, including barbed wire. Some are even buried beneath ploughed fields.
Look what we have here. A stile which is supposed to be so easy to use so that people can walk along the footpath without difficulty, and look at the state of this.
The association says it would cost up to £70 million to bring all our footpaths up to scratch, but they say it would be money well spent. They claim rambling has become an industry which supports around 250,000 jobs. Well, the local authority here, Calderdale Council, they tell us they are trying their best, but they do have many hundreds of kilometres of footpaths to maintain. They employ private contractors and volunteers, but they say they have to contend with all sorts of problems, not least deliberate vandalism, people intentionally dumping refuse onto footpaths. Other councils say much the same sort of thing. They say they're trying to cope, but with limited resources. Anna.
Kevin, thank you. The Spanish